Captain America. Hey everyone, welcome to another review. Here's my review, my really late review for Captain America Civil War. Yes, this review is really late for a reason. I saw this movie like a week ago, but my camera ended up breaking, so I've been looking for a few days. I'm finding a new camera. I finally got one that's similar to my old camera, and now I can finally review Civil War, even though I saw this movie like 6 days ago in the theaters, and I've seen it twice in total, and I think everyone knows most of the critical response, and most of the audience members think Civil War is an amazing movie. And honestly, I'm with everyone else. Captain America Civil War is fucking amazing. This movie is hands down one of the best movies of the year, and probably the best movie in the MCU. Yes, even better than Iron Man 1 and the Avengers, and I love the Avengers, and this is an incredible film. The story of this movie is basically about the government wants to take over the Avengers because the Avengers have caused a lot of destruction, whether it was in New York or in some of the European countries, like in Avengers Age of Ultron and all that stuff. They've caused a lot of destruction while saving people, so they basically want the Avengers to work for the government. And Iron Man is for the government, and Captain America is against the government. And then they find out Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, is back, and they think the Winter Soldier is causing all this bad destruction around the world. So basically, the government wants to go after the Winter Soldier and capture him, but Captain America wants to prove that Bucky Barnes is still Bucky Barnes and he's still a good guy, but the government doesn't believe him and stuff, so it's basically a war against the government, which is Iron Man's side, and against the rebellion, which is Captain America's side. Basically, it is a civil war between our Avengers that we all know and love. And there's new characters in this movie, and characters from previous films come in this movie, like Ant-Man, and we're introduced to like Spider-Man and Black Panther and all that stuff. This movie is directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, the Russo brothers, who directed Captain America and Winter Soldier and directed a lot of episodes of Community. There's a cameo of a character in Community in this movie. I won't spoil who, but it's awesome, just like Winter Soldier. Ahmed was in Winter Soldier. That was pretty awesome. And this movie stars like everybody. It stars Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chadwick Boseman, Tom Holland, Anthony Mackie, Don Cheadle, Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, Scarlett Johansson, and Jeremy Renner. Just the cast of all the MCU movies except Mark Ruffalo and Chris Hemsworth. They're all in this movie, and it is just a great movie. Again, just like Winter Soldier, it's a great spy movie, and it's also a great action-adventure movie. Not just a straight-up comic book movie, but it is also a comic book movie, and it's fucking amazing. This is hands down one of the best movies of the year. It probably is my favorite movie of the year. Yes, people are probably thinking, is it better than Deadpool? Hard to say, but in my opinion, yeah, a little bit. Like, this is my favorite movie of the MCU. I've seen this movie twice in theaters, and I can't wait to see it again. I'm probably going to go see it a third time in the next few days. This movie was freaking incredible. Amazingly directed. The Russo brothers did an amazing job directing this movie. The action sequences were all brilliantly handled, amazingly executed, and just amazingly choreographed. Like, this is amazing. The effects, of course, are amazing. The special effects are fantastic. And the characters that we all know and love are all amazing and very likable. And you actually see both sides. You see why Iron Man is going with the government, and you see why Captain America is going against the government. It's two sides, and neither one of them is good or evil. They're very relatable sides, and you agree with both sides. And there actually is a villain in this movie, played by Bruhl, and you actually like this villain. I know MCU has been failing with some of its villains, even though I do like Ultron. Ultron's a good villain. But Bruhl was a very charismatic villain, actually. I actually really felt bad for him, and I understood why he was doing all this shit. Like, it was understandable. And Sebastian Stan's back as Winter Soldier. He's great. And the new characters are all great. I love it. I loved seeing Paul Rudd in this movie as Ant-Man. He was so fucking great in this movie. So funny. I wish there was more Ant-Man, but still. It's mostly about Captain America. It's Captain America's movie. And yeah, brought in Black Panther, played by Chadwick Boseman. He did an amazing job. Black Panther looked great. The costume looked fantastic. And Chadwick Boseman did a fantastic job. I can't wait to see the Black Panther movie. Yes, they're hinting there's going to be a lot more of his story, obviously. And He was great. I loved him. And Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I don't want to spoil all the scenes, but I think everyone knows. Everyone's seen this movie now. He's amazing in this movie. He's so great. He's so nerdy. He actually feels like Spider-Man this time because we've always had like older actors playing Peter Parker. Now we actually have a teenager playing a teenager, and he was great. He was a great Spider-Man. I can't wait to see him in Spider-Man Homecoming. He was so great, and yeah, it was awesome. All the characters were great. All the performances were all top-notch. And the action was amazing. And the airport scene is one of the greatest action sequences in a superhero movie. It's not only really funny, but it's amazingly choreographed. The action scenes are all amazing, just amazing. And the conflict in the third act of the movie, and you find out actually a bit of a twist. It's actually heartbreaking, and you understand all these characters' choices. That's why this movie is just so enjoyable. You enjoy all the characters, and you understand why they're making the choices that they're making. It's just amazingly well written. The writing in this movie is fantastic. It's a phenomenal script work in this movie, and the direction between the Russo brothers was amazing, and all in all, this movie is just fantastic. It's not just for comic book fans, but to be honest, if you haven't seen any of the MCU movies, you'll be pretty lost with this movie, but it's more than just a comic book movie. It's a great action-adventure movie / kind of spy movie. Like, the Russo brothers, I can't see what they do with the Infinity War because they are just amazing at these comic book movies, and I loved this movie. This is hands down one of the best comic book movies I've seen since The Dark Knight. This is one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. I loved Civil War. I cannot possibly recommend this movie enough. It's amazing. The action, the acting, the story, the characters, everything about this movie was amazing. This was my #1 most anticipated movie of the year, and now it is my #1 favorite movie of the year. This is the movie to beat. I love this movie. I highly recommend it, but I know everyone's probably seen it already because this review is very late, but all in all, it's amazing. Go see Civil War. It's amazing. Scale 1 to 10, I'll give the movie Captain America Civil War a 10 out of 10. Amazing. Go see it. Amazing. Go see it. So yeah, that's my review for the movie Captain America Civil War. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me which side were you on in this movie. Were you on Iron Man's side or Captain America's side? Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.